So hey there everybody, as always, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a few. My name is Rich, I'm the channel host, and normally we're talking about building our small drone businesses, the devices we use, the software we use, and try to help you get started with your own drone business, doing construction progression monitoring or other similar flights like the work that we do. Now today I'm doing something a little different. I wanted to talk to you quickly about Affinity Photo 2. Several years ago I purchased Affinity Photo because there were a couple of features in it that were really compelling to me. It was also not a subscription service at the time of purchase. And up to now it still is not a subscription service, although it has been bought by Canva. So down the road we're going to need to, see what happens with Canva owning Affinity Photo now. But what I wanted to show you is just two quick things, and you can let me know if we should do a longer series here on channel, but two quick things that made me buy Affinity Photo several years ago. Just so you know, I'm also an Adobe user, so I am on their subscription service for Lightroom and Photoshop. And it's worked very well for me. I've used Photoshop for years and years and years. But of course, Adobe kind of stuck their foot in it just the other week with their end user licenses and some really questionable stuff, which apparently they've backpedaled on some of that and said people didn't quite understand. But I've seen a lot of drone pilots saying, I've kind of had it. Well, Affinity Photo is another option for you. What we're looking at on screen right now is a 360 setup at one of our job sites to showcase the build out as it's coming along. And so this isn't a finished 360 right now. The final step is, actually getting it into that rotation and display on a website. But so I just grabbed one of these, and what I'm going to do, I'm closing that, and I've got it right here. It's my drone pano number 7 from an edited drone panos. Now, all I'm going to do is drag it down, and I'm going to drag it right down onto Affinity Photo 2. Here we go. And so there is the image in the Affinity screen. I'm just going to make that Affinity screen a little larger here. And so there is two things that sold me on Affinity Photo, actually three. The price. I purchased Affinity Photo for a Black Friday sale several years ago. And then these two features. There's a lot of other features. This works very similarly to Photoshop. So if you've got questions about it or want to see certain aspects of it, let me know, and maybe we can do something on this channel or do something longer over at classes.azdrone.net and really get you going with Affinity if you might want to make that change. So we have the 360 in here, and this is how 360s look after they've been assembled and before they're in a 360 viewer. But one of the things that I love about Affinity Photo that nobody else does this way, nobody else does it this nice. Under layers, if I go down to live projection, I can do an equirectangular projection and check it out. Now, Adobe had a 360 viewer that really wasn't great, and so years ago, that's one of the reasons why I found Affinity Photo, so that I could actually look around at the final version of my image when it gets uploaded into something. So this is fantastic here. So I'm moving around the screen. We can zoom this in, zoom this out. Over here on the right hand side, oh, you can't see that because me, I'm above that. Underneath the image of me right now is a navigator where you can zoom in, zoom out, but I could also zoom in, zoom out here. But so feature number 1, seeing things in this 360 viewer. Feature number 2 that was very interesting to me is over on the left-hand side. So let's zoom in here. The inpainting brush. So Adobe's got all this new generative fill stuff and these little buttons popping up. And a lot of us, when we're doing work for our clients, if we're doing outdoor work, showcasing construction, we're not after generative fill or any of that kind of stuff. We need to represent the property, not an artistic version of it, just the real version. But one of the things that sometimes I might want to do is like this tractor right here. Hello, caterpillar. I don't want that in my image. So I'm going to go over to that inpainting brush. Hello, inpainting brush. And now I've got the little brush here. I'm going to shrink it down just a bit. And let's get rid of that up. It broke it just a bit. So if I sit here and play with this for a few, I'll get this the way that I want it. So let's just pop it there. And once again, this is a construction site. Imperfections are going to happen. So I'm going to See, I'm being a little quick and sloppy. Okay. Now, most folks won't even notice that after I'm done with it. But there we go. I'm going to go back up to the arrow tool here. So got rid of that one. So what I'm saying, the inpainting brush is really good. And I'm just being really quick and sloppy with it, so it's not perfected. But if you play with this just a little bit, you can really move cars out of it, sand piles, whatever you want. Now, I'm going to go back up to that layer, live projection. I'm going to remove the projection just for a moment. And then I'm going to go back once again, layer, and I'm going to put that projection back on. And if we look back over here, our caterpillar tractor is gone. So I can be in the layer for the equirectangular projection, and I can go ahead, pick an area, do some editing on it, and then put it back in that projection again. So I get to see what the final product's going to be, which is great because maybe we upload all of our images to Kuula or Cloud Pano or one of these other things, and we missed a little something, and we're looking at it in the full version, not in the 360 version. We're looking at it all spread out, and maybe that's not as easy to deal with on the editing side. So the big reasons why I initially picked up Affinity Photo years ago: the price, the lack of a subscription. You actually own the software, which is crazy because that doesn't happen anymore. The equirectangular projection for 360s, and the ability to bounce in and out of editing for the 360. So there's a couple of reasons. There's a lot more going behind Affinity Photo 2. So if you would like to know more about it, see a series here or see a series at classes.azdrawn.net, drop me a note. Tell me what things you're interested in about this, and we'll see what we can do. Because while I'm still a subscriber to Adobe, I am going to be playing with Affinity Photo more because my partner in all this, Jody, has actually been doing more interiors of finished homes, and she's found a couple things that she really likes in Affinity Photo that do a much better job than, let's say, Lightroom or Photoshop, an easier job for getting window pulls, getting those overly bright rooms and still getting nice, crisp, darker windows to show what's out in the landscape. But she's been tooling around with this more for the past couple months while I've been down and recovering. So she's been playing around and finding more and more features that she likes in Affinity Photo. So basically, Lightroom, we're just managing our stuff. And now for interior work, she's using Affinity Photo now. So I'm going to play a little catch up with her, and we'll get it all shared with you here. We'll learn together. And that's how I like to do a lot of our videos, is us walking through these things together. So once again, price was a big thing. No subscription was a big thing. The equirectangular projection was a big thing. And their inline painting brush is a really great tool. All right, everybody. I'll look forward to your comments and questions. Have a great day.